Hey everybody, I'm Bert with LetsRV. In today's video, we're going to go over the DBPOWER 12 volt in-car air compressor. You're going to want to stay to the end of this video because I have a bonus that everybody's going to want to have. This thing has a max PSI of 150 PSI. It's 12 volts. It comes with a 12 volt power cord that's 12 feet long and it plugs into your cigarette lighter. It has an easy to use valve, so you can connect it to your vehicle's valve stems or use the adapters. And that has a 20-inch hose that goes along with it. It's small, it's lightweight, so this thing can fit in the center console of my Silverado with no problem whatsoever. So who's going to want this product? I think this is going to be the average consumer. I think it's going to be the everyday person that just wants to have an emergency compressor in their vehicle in case they need to top off their tires, in case they want to fill up a sports, like a football or a soccer ball, anything like that. Or if you're going to the beach and you want to inflate a raft or inflate, a beach ball, something like that. I think that's going to be perfect for that. Do I think you're going to be filling up your Class A bus tires with it because it goes up to 150 PSI? No, I don't think that's who's going to be using it. Now, are you going to want to put this in your toad that you're towing behind your Class A bus? Absolutely. I think that's where you're going to want to have this device. And also when you're RVing, all those other things that I mentioned, this will help you in filling up, inflating any one of those things. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and use this thing in real life and see how it does. I'm in a parking lot right now. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take the air out of one of my truck tires and I'm going to inflate it with this device. And if that works, I'm going to take this thing back home and I'm going to use it for, filling up like my kid's soccer ball, and I'll look around the house and see if I have any beach items, something that I can fill up like that and show you guys how this thing works. Now, I do want to tell you guys that this thing was sent to me by this company. They reached out to me. It actually came at a great time because the compressor I was using before, broke. So I was really interested to see how this thing worked. So plugged it in the front cigarette lighter so I can stand it like this. You can see the compressor. All right, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm impressed. This thing just filled up my 20-inch rims on my truck to 65 PSI. I will say it was at 25 PSI, but I was letting all the air out of the tire and you could see where the bulge, I had a bulge in the tire. It did have 25 PSI according to this gauge, but it was just taking forever to drain all the air out. So I felt like you could see that the bulge was out of it. It was 25 PSI. This thing inflated it to 65 PSI on my truck. That's the same pressure in my travel trailer tires. So I don't think this would have a problem at all filling my travel trailer tires. It wasn't hot. It was warm, but the other compressor that I had from this store that I'm not going to mention, that thing got hot where I couldn't even put it away. I had to wait for it to cool down. This thing was warm. Now I will say the plug was a little hot, but again, not excessive, but it was warmer than the compressor itself. So as it stands right now, I'm impressed by this thing. I'm going to take it home. I'm going to fill up a soccer ball and maybe another inflatable device, but I mean, at the end of the day, if it just filled up this truck tire, it's gonna fill up a soccer ball or what have you with no problem. Probably in like a minute or something, it'll fill up that stuff. So far, I'm impressed with this thing. Now, longevity, is it gonna last? Who'll know? Only over usage and usage and usage will you really know if it's gonna last the long haul. But again, like I said before, this is going to be for the average consumer. This thing's going to sit in your car, in your center console, or like I'm probably going to keep it behind the seat. Well, Actually, that's not true. I'm going to end up putting this in my daughter's car, so it's going to be in the trunk of her car. But this is going to sit in your car, and when you get out from work and you look down and you've got low air in your tire, you're going to be able to fill up your tire, drive to a tire shop where they can plug your tire, do whatever you've got to do. Or if you're at the beach and you don't want to sit there inflating all your kids' inflatable devices, this bad boy right here is what you're going to use. So again, so far I'm impressed. So let's take this thing home and see if we could do the soccer ball and maybe one other thing. All right, so here we have an old beat up soccer ball. It's flat. Gonna take this, plug it into a cigarette lighter, get the light so you know it's good. Test the compressor. These are the adapters that it came with it for the pump. That's it, it worked. Thanks for watching this video. And as I promised, check in the description down below. There's gonna be a link for 30% off until the end of 2017. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. And as always, safe travels.